about it. We can all debate it till we're blue in the face, but let's talk about this. If DeGale doesn't get knocked down in the 12th and he just survives round 12, he would have been 114, 112,
Across the board.
and 116, what would it have been without it would have been 116, 113? Is that right?
The guy that had him already winning. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Right. He would have gotten those 2 points would have adjusted. Wait, he would be 115, 113. Does that make sense? Yeah. It would be a 10-9 instead of a
10-8.
I can't figure out the math on it.
It's 115, 115, 112, Lee. You're right.
Yeah, okay. 115, 112. And Badou Jack would be, and James DeGale and the other two cards would be 114, 112. Period. That's the end of the fight.
Yep.
Right there. That's what it would have been, a unanimous decision, and now the unified champion, James DeGale.
And Floyd would have still exploded on the side.
Exploded money all over the place.
He even said he wants to sign DeGale now.
As he should.
Right.
But I don't know. If I'm Eddie Hearn, I'm looking at this fight going, how is DeGale not on my fight cards all the time?
Oh, he is. And no, Floyd probably just wanted to do the promoter of America. You know how that goes. Right. They always have.
I'm telling you that Eddie Hearn almost exploded money. And
Eddie Hearn should have got on the camera more. Because the UK is taking over boxing right now.
No, Eddie Hearn is.
Yeah, he needs.
UK. It's just Eddie Hearn. For those of you who don't know, I want to say he's a cross between Don King and Bob Arum, because he's definitely got Don King's showman style and he knows how to stack a card, but he's got a class and sensibility that I can only compare to Bob Arum. I can only compare him to Bob Arum on that level.
When Showtime gave him the opportunity to talk on the microphone, he should have took it, because there's a lot of American fight fans that don't know who Eddie Hearn is. And this was a great night to come out and
he was promoter of the year last year, for those of you who are wondering. And all you have to do is type in Eddie Hearn on Twitter and look at everybody. I mean, everybody put over Eddie Hearn from last year.
He should have told Badou Jack, I will give you a rematch. I will give you a raise, but you will come to the UK and sell 40,000 seats for us. He should have told him and Mayweather.
Hey, look, these guys weren't that banged up. Put him on that. Put him on the Klitschko card.
Well, no. James DeGale took a whooping. They said he has a blown. He has a blown eardrum. Yeah, he has a blown eardrum and he has some missing front teeth right now. So. And you know what, Arthur Mercanti, man, this guy is gonna be involved, I think, in a bad situation one day. He likes pushing the limits, Lee. I love him as a ref, but he's a little bit scary sometimes. You know, the whole dropping of the mouthpiece and being like, that's your fault. That's your fault. Fight keeps going. It's like, hey, some of those, Lee, there was no action. And he's just like, nope, you dropped your mouthpiece. You ain't fucking getting it back.
Welcome to boxing in New York.
Remember?
Mercanti takes that punch in that one round, the thumb to the eye.
Yeah, sixth round,
he takes a punch and shakes it off like a man.
And then he goes to Badou Jack's corner. Give me some water. Give me some water. The guy's in the fight of his life, and you want his water for one punch.
Yeah. Hell yeah. By the way, if he was a dick, he could have just disqualified him.
Hey, Badou Jack had a few of those moments. Man, it looked like he was playing that bell very close. You are right.
He played it close all night.
Yeah, there's at least three of them that those punches came at the bell. I thought Mercanti should have at least warned him.
That was East Coast, like that was throwback.
Remember,
I know you guys all wanted throwback.
Remember
that was throwback East Coast.
Remember, wasn't he the one in Cotto Yori Foreman where Foreman blows out his knee and he's like, "I'm not going to take this from you. Do you want to continue?" And the guy's literally hopping on one leg.
Yeah. Don't check with Mercanti, man. He'll let the fight go. He'll let you hobble around. Now, the other doctors around ringside seem to be a little more reasonable on the topics and keeping an eye on the fighter, but it was what it was. Yep. That is exactly what it was last night. It was.
And for all of you people that are all over the internet right now saying that, you know, obviously you TMT fans that are siding with Floyd and his little outbursts about the scoring, which I loved how he brought up De La Hoya and Canelo and all of the bad scoring of his career.
Right.
which some of those weren't bad scoring, Floyd, but I hear you. You have a lot of fans that always kiss your ass and say you won every single round of your whole career. You guys, this fight is a 12-round fight. In 2 rounds, we've seen both opponents go down, so you eliminate those 2 rounds. That's 10-8, 10-8, throw those out the window. We now have a 10-round fight. 10-round fight. It is not hard to see that both guys won 5 rounds apiece. It isn't. Yes, you might have a few rounds that are swing rounds, could have went either way, but it's not hard to say 5-5. This is a draw.
No, I think it's it's unbelievable that I'm saying this, but I think it was a fair scoring. And what I found most amusing out of everybody after that fight was, I would have been sad if, what was the Malignaggi line? I would have been sad if one of these guys had to give their belt for that fight.
Yeah, I heard that.
You know what? I heard you during the fight, dude. You talked about Badou Jack like he was walking on water in that ring. I mean, it pisses me off when that happens. It's almost, Gennady Golovkin doesn't agree with the score. Badou Jack won the fight, per Gennady Golovkin.
I don't know if Gennady Golovkin can mess with either one of these guys. These are some big super middleweights. These guys could take.
I want to see that. I want to see that fight.
I know. Badou Jack looks like the real deal. This guy's.
By the way, and for those wondering, Gennady Golovkin really would want Badou Jack to win. Like, of the 2 guys for his style, that's the guy he needs.
Yep. You don't want DeGale. You're absolutely right on that.
DeGale's long and rangy. He'd be on the outside. The fight would be in England. By the way, Gennady Golovkin's tweet is probably the hottest thing on Twitter.
What did he put? I didn't even see it. What did he?
That's what he wrote. I don't agree with the score. Not good. At Badou Jack, you won this fight. It's been reposted 604 times. It's been liked over 1,000 times. I'm seeing it because Steve Kim retweeted it again this morning. I'll retweet it. It's going to go a while, but it's the first real fairly
big tweet out of boxing.
Yeah, it is, because it was that good a fight.
Now, Floyd, your little outburst after the fight is going to get you a lot more bad scorecards if you don't shut up.
All right, let's talk about all the drama around this, right? First of all, Floyd had an outburst after the fight. And everybody had comments about his insanity. And it's happening all over social media, right? Bickering with Dana White. Everybody's talking about his bickering with Dana White and Conor McGregor. And this fight wasn't bad for boxing. This fight was great for boxing.
Exactly. His fighter turned into a true headliner last night. Why didn't he acknowledge that?
Because he didn't get the decision, right. And he's not getting the Gennady Golovkin super fight card on HBO or... Right? You move this over to Mayweather promotion so it doesn't have the PBC taint. Badou Jack should have gotten the win. You should have just rang that dinner bell for HBO pay-per-view, and it's a big payday fight. I don't know if it makes 100 million, but it's certainly, you're looking at 500,000 to 1 million views for that fight. It's a good fight.
And you're looking at money for his fighter that a year ago, Lee, no one thought Badou Jack would be in this position that he is. I mean, you're talking about a guy who was getting gift draws. Remember that Marco Antonio Burbain fight? No one forget that. Because he lost that night and got a draw on the undercard of one of Floyd's fights in Las Vegas. I was there. Okay? Let's not forget about the knockout loss that he did receive, I think, by Edwards. Derek, I can't remember the name. But he's already been knocked out. So he has 2 draws and a knockout defeat. And we're thinking, this is just another Floyd fighter. He was undefeated when he came, and now he's going nowhere. And all of a sudden, he's the champ. He's defending the title. He's unifying the title and put on a classic super middleweight fight. That is this last night. If you're a true boxing fan and you have these fights recorded, or this is a fight you watch on a sick day. This is a fight when you have nothing to do. There's nothing on TV and you just want to watch some old fights. You can go back to DeGale versus Jack and be entertained for 12 rounds. Why didn't he?
It's an argue again, just like Andre Ward and Kovalev. Look, you can argue the decision, but it was an entertaining fight. Like if you get an entertaining fight, it's one you're going to put back on and argue with your buddies. It's good barbershop talk. It's good.
It made him a headliner. It made Badou Jack a main event in Las Vegas, and you sit there and trash the judging. Stupid. And then he's like, oh yeah, he got knocked down in the first round, but I have him winning the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. Shut up.
He didn't win and by the way, he didn't win those rounds.
Yeah, he did not sweep the next 4 fucking rounds, Floyd. Stop it. You sound like a drunk Bob Arum.
Yeah. Yeah, except here's the big difference. Bob Arum probably could have made that outcome his way.
Well, and that
Bob has enough stroke to get what he wants.
Listen, that's another thing I want to talk about. Look at Floyd. You know what I seen last night? I seen a fighter come over the pond from the UK and still have a bigger fan base. Lee, did you notice DeGale was getting more of the cheers during the exchanges?
Yeah, he had a lot of travel.
He had a lot of fans there.
I'm looking at it on social media right now. People came in from England to see this fight. It was an attraction. Yeah. James DeGale is well liked.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a fan base in New York.
And I think there's a fan base in New York for these UK guys. I really do. A lot more than for the Americans. That, shame on Floyd. You need to know what crowd is buying tickets. And if your guy isn't leading, you need to get your men out into the streets of New York, into the inner cities, and start getting these ticket sales up. However you have to do it. If you have to go to every fucking hip-hop show in New York and hand out free tickets, you must get a crowd in there for your guy, and he did not do that. Badou Jack was American and was getting out-cheered by the guy from the UK.
I think the other thing that would be really a good idea is get the rematch, get it signed right now while everybody's talking about it, and drop that thing in late August or September. James DeGale will be fine by then. Do this again in Vegas.
In Vegas, yes.
You'll get, I think you can fill maybe Mandalay Bay or MGM with this fight.
And a good undercard.
I don't think you could fill T-Mobile with.
Yeah, no. But get a good card. Get a card, undercard that complements the main event. And I think this is sold. 10,000 showed up last night, and they weren't. It's not like they were unhappy when they left. They were. I think all 10,000 fans said, "You know what? You bring this back, I'll buy a ticket again."
Yeah, I agree.
Floyd. That was a rookie move you did last night. He did it all night. He did it at the post-fight press conference. He did it after the fight. When I was fighting and I used to lose rounds, this is bad for boxing. The fuck are you talking? You made $800 million in this sport. What do you mean? What was bad for boxing? Las Vegas did $1 billion off of you. What was bad for boxing? Shut up.
No, he was drinking too much, or I don't know. You know, he's so desperate. I think I read an article. Somebody brings up a great point. Floyd doesn't want to fight again. Floyd just wants everybody's attention like he's going to fight again.
That's it.
And I don't think Floyd wants to train that hard. I don't think there's anything about him that wants to. I don't really think he wants to do anything other than fight a sideshow like Conor McGregor. Because I think that's the truth.
And he said it last night, Lee. When they asked him, is there a price that will bring you back to see another boxer? Not just let's leave Conor McGregor out of it. We know that's a money fight. He said no. There's nothing that interests him anymore in the sport of boxing, and it's true. Floyd is so old. If he was to lose to a young guy like, say, a Charlo or a Danny Garcia or Keith Thurman, you know what everyone would say? Well, fuck, he's like 43, 42 years old. Who cares?
Right. And he needs the term GOAT in his life so bad. He needs to be considered the greatest of all time to exist.
In his
it's
own
not
head.
Enough that
in
he
his
has
own head.
Like, here's what he's discovered. The money isn't enough. The money's great. Don't get me wrong. People always say that when they have money. Oh, it's not about the money. All right. Don't get me wrong. This guy did one thing very well for his entire life. He made money on it. That's the American dream, okay? He deserves every penny he got because he got it, okay? We all paid for it. We all did it. That's reality.